Hey everyone, welcome to Ontario Nazarene's YouTube channel. I'm Pastor Lauren and thanks for checking us out today. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you ever wondered what all those really old Christmas songs are all about? You know, the ones that they play on the radio, the ones that you hear in the stores while you're shopping, or even some of them that you sing at home during the holidays. Some of those old songs, they have incredible stories of how they were written, and many of them they tell of an amazing story that happened long, long ago. But it's a story that has the power to greatly impact our lives, even today, in this holiday season, and for many, many days to come. And so we have a special message just for you from our series, The Carols of Christmas. So I encourage you to sit back, enjoy, and if you'd like to know more about us here at Ontario Nazarene, how to connect with us, stay tuned to find out how you can do that at the end of the message.
A couple of months ago, Nancy and I sold our house, and we're living now temporarily in a little farmhouse on the way to Nissa. We're so grateful for that. It comes fully furnished, so we were able to put all of our stuff in a couple of pods, and we don't have to move twice, just once. But you know, when you're living in something that has been decorated by somebody else, and it's the first few nights there, and you wake up in the middle of the night, and you have to go somewhere in the middle of the night. It's none of your business where. Although first service, I said that. Little kid over on the side said, "Why?" And he really caught me. My face matched my shirt at the time. So on the first night, I wake up in the middle of the night, and it's dark, and I'm a little disoriented, and so I scooch myself down between the bed and the wall, and just a little bit down there, my toes connect with the bed frame, and I break into the Hallelujah chorus at that moment. Now, the good news is that I'm not the only one that's done that. A few days later, my wife banged her leg against the side of the bed, and so I'm not alone in the dilemma of darkness. Yeah, well, I feel like we're partners together, babe. I don't want us to miss out on that. Thank you. So here's what we know about darkness. Darkness disorients us. It distorts. It confuses. Light, however, reveals what's hidden in the darkness. In this season of Advent, which is for us, we'll be going for about 6 weeks, or the first couple of weeks of end of December into January, we're going through the first chapter of the Gospel of John. And John is probably in his 70s or 80s, and he's reflecting back. And you need to know, John was a teenager when he met Jesus. And he now, as he looks back, you know, this is the Jesus he listened to. This is the Jesus he watched. This is the Jesus, by the way, he touched. He touched him. And as he reflects, he looks back, he's declaring to us who this Jesus is. And this is one of the statements he makes. In John chapter 1, verses 4 and 5, he says, "In Jesus was life. And that life was the light of all mankind, all humanity. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it." If you look at the metaphors of light and darkness throughout the Bible, you will find that they tend to describe good and evil, the nature of God, the nature of sin. And when I've looked at this passage of Scripture, I tend to look at it in light of this. The light's impact upon the darkness. That's how I see it. Darkness cannot master light. It doesn't have the ability to do that. But this year, as I looked at this text, I said, well, okay, I see how light impacts darkness. But what if we flip that? What if we said, how does darkness impact light? You had to think about that. And I believe that the evil of darkness makes me appreciate God's goodness. Makes me appreciate God's goodness to pierce the shadows of sin. Think about darkness and light together. Darkness makes the light of the stars spectacular. You set up your Christmas lights. Those bright LED lights don't mean so much in the daylight, do they? Or have you noticed now we not only have these things that we can talk with called cell phones, they all come with a little flashlight on it. And when we're out in the wilderness for Nance and I, and it's dark, I'm grateful for a flashlight on my phone. Here's what I've known. Darkness makes me appreciate the revealing power of light. And we can see this, by the way, in the movies and shows that we watch at Christmas time. Okay, confession time. How many of you watched Hallmark movies so far? Okay, yeah, I see that. And how many of you are not being honest? Okay, there you go. So if you've watched a Hallmark movie, you know that it starts with these two who are all googly-eyed at one another, and you look like they're going to spend, everything's going to be great. But it goes dark, doesn't it? At some point, they break up. In every Hallmark movie, they always break up. But what happens before the end? They make up, and they kiss, because we all want it to end on a good note, don't we? Or take one of my favorite Christmas shows, the 1966 version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Think about that. When we all want to boo the Grinch when he steals all the toys from Whoville, takes them up to the top of the mountain, has them stacked up there. We all want to boo him. Go ahead, boo him for me, would you? Boo him. Yeah, that's how we feel. That's how we feel. I'm starting to take it kind of personal. That was really good. That was really good. So we all want to boo him. And we want to boo him when he takes his dog Max and ties him to the sleigh. We all want to boo him. We all want to join in the song. You know, the last chorus of the song goes a little bit like this. You're a foul one, Mr. Grinch. You're a nasty, wasty skunk. Your heart is full of unwashed socks. Your soul is full of gunk, Mr. Grinch. The three words that would best describe you are as follows, and I quote. Join me together, would you? Stink, stank, stunk. There you go. I can hear you folks at home saying that. We don't want the movie to end with Grinch at the top of the mountain cheering in victory because he stole all the gifts. But if you've watched it for your first time, you're a little taken back when the people of Whoville come out and they start singing that song that gets stuck in your head the rest of the Christmas season. Kind of like that da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You know, that's going to be with me all day now. Stick to booing, would you? Stick to booing. No, don't do that either. It's the light in the darkness that gets our attention. And I wonder, what changed the heart of the Grinch? You know, what made his heart grow a couple of sizes? Now, as a pastor, I have connections. And I actually have a hotline to the Grinch, and I made a phone call and said, is there a possible way that I could set up an interview with you? I think your message is really important to our people. And so we met, and we had this interview. I'll let you watch it. Well, Grinch, I want to take a moment to say thanks for giving us some time today and sharing a little bit of your story.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So I just have a couple of questions for you. Can you tell our audience, why did you take the gifts? Why did you go down into Whoville, take Max, tie him up, bring him down, and take those gifts?
First of all, I didn't tie Max up. That was completely voluntary, okay? Second of all, I took all those gifts because I hated Christmas. I loathed it entirely.
Why?
There are a few because of my childhood. It was horrific. It was just horrible. It was just full of darkness and horrific childhood. And Christmas was celebrated everywhere. Well, I sure couldn't celebrate it in my heart, obviously. Have you seen the movie?
I have seen the movie.
Okay. Catch up then.
Which makes me ask this question. So you got all the gifts. You succeeded at what you wanted.
Yes, I did.
And you and Max are at the top of the mountain.
Absolutely.
And you suddenly watch the people of Whoville come out and begin to sing. We have this quote from you, so I'd like you to comment on it. You said, what if Christmas doesn't come from a store? What if Christmas perhaps means a little bit more? So what is the more?
You know, I thought we were going to have a nice, simple little, I don't know, talk here. Now we're getting all personal. And the more was the love of the people. I have to be honest with you. I can't hide that anymore.
Saw them singing, got
They
your
were
attention.
singing. They were happy. They were joyous. They were both joyful and triumphant.
Even though you took their gifts.
Yeah, even though I brought darkness to them. I was that darkness. I took it to them. And they were singing. I tell you, they were singing happy songs.
And in that moment, your heart changes.
Yes, it did.
What do you think was the source of the love of those people?
The absolute source, with no doubt in my mind, was the love of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. And I'm not afraid to say it.
So he changed your heart
Changed my heart completely.
from a little itsy bitsy,
It was tiny, just a little.
cold, bitter, ornery, frustrated.
Hey, that's enough.
Oh, sorry. Changed your heart to something full of love.
Full of love. Absolutely. I returned all those gifts. I even got to carve the roast beast.
I saw that.
That was exciting for me. I never got to do that. That was so much fun. You should try it sometime.
And how is life since then?
Absolutely glorious. Is it easy? Nope, it's not. Do I mess up? Yep, sure do. You know what's nice though? And I don't know if you know this, but you're forgiven. I'm forgiven for all those things. When I went and took all those, I'm forgiven. And it's absolutely great. It's free. It's freedom. Light came into the darkness. The darkness had to flee. Bye-bye, darkness. Hello, light. And I love it. Absolutely love it.
Well, hey, thanks for taking time today and meeting with us. We appreciate it.
It was, I guess I could say it, my pleasure.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day.
Thanks. We'll see you.
I love it when the light, the goodness and grace of God shows up. I love light because it reveals what's hidden in the dark. But here's the problem. The problem is that the light of Christ reveals the darkness in my own life. Did you know how the movie came about? In an article written about the creation of the Grinch story, the author quoted Dr. Seuss, and this is what he said. He said, "I was brushing my teeth on the morning of the 26th of last December when I noted a very Grinchish countenance in the mirror. It was me." He went on to say, "Something had gone wrong with Christmas, or more likely with me. So I wrote the story about my sour friend, the Grinch, to see if I could rediscover something about Christmas that I'd obviously lost." Wow. The reality is that there is a Grinch in all of us, isn't there? We all can miss not just the significance of Christmas, but the meaning of life. If you read the story of Jesus, there's an encounter that Jesus has with Nicodemus, and he says to him, there will be people who like darkness more than they like light. That's sad. Because Christ wants to be in our lives, have a relationship with us, and direct our lives. As a matter of fact, Jesus in John 8 invites us into that relationship. This is what he says. John 8:12, when Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, "I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life." Again, the problem is that Jesus' light reveals my darkness. But the good news is that he can bring light into my darkness. The salvation that comes through Christ has the ability to take our small, cold, sinful heart and cleanse it from sin and fill it with love and making it bigger than ever. And then as we follow Jesus, because it's more than a decision, it's a journey, we not only experience the grace in the darkest part of our souls, we become reflections of his light. Our love becomes instruments that pierce the darkness. Like the Grinch, those around us see what God has done in us and through us. So let me ask you a question as we wrap up today. Have you received the light of Christ into your life? Have you received the light of Christ into your life? The last song the choir's going to sing in just a moment is a song that I am sure every one of you have heard at one time or another in your life. You probably all learned it as a little child. If you sung in choirs in school, you probably sung this song. Came out about the early 19th century. It was a assistant priest who he and the organist of his church wanted to create the perfect Christmas carol. And they had an ideal moment to do that because the organ in the church went bad. You ever, organs in church at that time, if they went bad, you were in deep trouble. So they decided to work together. And Joseph Moore, the assistant priest, wrote the lyrics, and a guy named Franz Gruber put it to music. And in a Christmas Eve Mass, in the early 19th century, they went contemporary. They had no organ, so he played it by guitar. And they sung the song. I'm sure you know it. Silent Night, Holy Night. It's the first time it was sang. And in just a moment, the choir's going to sing it, and I'm going to invite you to join in with them, because this is a song that the next week, the organ repair person came in, saw the music sitting there, took it, came home, shared it with others, and now I understand it's sung in probably some 300 languages around our world. Silent Night, Holy Night. But look at verse 3 of this song. Silent night, holy night. Son of God, would you say those words with me? Love's pure light. Radiant beams from thy holy face with the dawn of redeeming grace. That's the light that comes into the darkness and can change the darkness into light. Jesus, Lord at thy birth. Jesus, Lord at thy birth. Here's the thing with Jesus. You can't stay neutral with him. You got to choose which direction you're going to go. Do you believe in him? Will you follow him? Or will you choose to live in darkness? Have you experienced the grace of God in your life, the light of God's love? I just want to tell you, you could receive that today.
Well, I hope that was a helpful and meaningful message for you today. If you'd like to speak with anyone about the message or what's going on in your life, we would love to connect with you. To connect with us, you can send us a message through our website at ontariofirst.org. We'd also love to have you like us on Facebook or send us a message through Facebook Messenger. You can also follow us on Instagram at Ontario Nazarene. We also invite you to subscribe to this channel by hitting the big red subscribe button and then click on the bell next to it so that you'll get notified whenever we upload new content. And we're right here every Sunday morning for worship service at 9:30 and 11 o'clock a.m., both in person and online. Hey, thanks again for joining us today. We hope you have a very Merry Christmas, and we do hope to see you again real soon.